I am thankful that you're here in the midst of everything going on in your life. This is a podcast with the purpose of having real heartfelt conversations to encourage one another in faith throughout our journey. Welcome to the first episode. I am your host, Karla Molina, and I'm here with Karina Martinez. Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
Glad to have you here. The verse that drives this episode is from Mark 12:30-31. And it says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. The second is this, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than this."
God made us, He created us, and He would want us to love ourselves and then loving your neighbor. And obviously, if you can't love God and can't love yourself, it's really hard to love your neighbor.
Yes.
Because then if you pick out everything from yourself, obviously you're going to pick out a bunch of flaws from somebody else that you barely know or you know what I mean?
Exactly. And what I took from this was that he says, love your neighbor as yourself. And like you said, if you don't love yourself, how are you going to love others? But some of the criticism of this is that if you're loving yourself, you can be selfish and you can be boasting about yourself and it's vanity. But there's a difference in loving yourself, your attributes, and basically thanking God because He is the creator, the one who created you. So in loving yourself, you're kind of praising Him because you're saying, wow, you made me so beautiful. You made me so smart. You made me so intelligent, rather than, oh, I'm better than someone else.
Yeah. It's kind of like, for example, loving the outdoors or loving nature. You love it so much. God created it so beautiful.
Yep.
You should think about the same of yourself. Like God created you. You should love it so much. You're so beautiful, you know?
And that's hard to do sometimes. People are struggling to do that. And I personally can admit to that. And I can say that if you are struggling to love yourself, it is okay. It is okay to be honest, to realize that there are some things that you might not like about yourself, that there's some things you're trying to change. But together, we have to know that God created us for a purpose, for a reason. And even with our flaws, which everyone has, we are perfect in His image.
Yeah.
When we have this conflict with ourselves, we bring it out to other relations. So it can either be a friend, a partner, a family member, whoever it is, even like a classmate or a coworker.
Yeah.
The way we're treating us, automatically, sometimes not even us knowing, is the way that we treat others. So it's important that we realize that and that we love ourselves to a point, not boasting and not being or trying to be better than other people. Exactly, self-centered. But loving yourself to a point that you're confident and grateful. And so all those good emotions and good virtues pass along to the relationships that you have in your life. So Karina, do you have any advice for people right now that might be struggling trying to love themselves?
My advice to those who are struggling with self-love would be put yourself first. And take this very lightly because I know some people would think, oh, but I don't want to be selfish. I need to think of others. But sometimes you really do have to put yourself first. Sometimes you have to have that conversation with people and say, hey, I need this time for myself, or I need to take this time to spend some time with myself, read a book, go out, take myself out. Just put yourself first when you feel like you're running empty, basically. If you're running empty, then that's your sign to give yourself a little more extra love than you're giving to others. Because you can't pour out what you don't have in your cup.
Yep. Well said. So like Karina said, if you're struggling to love yourself, to find ways to realize that you are made in God's image, that He made you with a purpose, that He loves you, and that you should love yourself in order to love others. Just pray to God that you are able to see yourself through His eyes and not through the worldly standards of beauty or even characteristics that you should have. To ask God for these things are going to give you a peace and a love that you won't find in the world. And starting today, Think about what your takeaway is going to be from this. Find ways to practice self-love. And remember that God loves you, and you should too.